always thought I could hold my own in a fight. And then I took a Muay Thai class and got kicked in the chest. Hello everyone, my name is FCA One Duniz. Muay Thai has grown worldwide in the last 30 years. I myself have trained in the art and attended fights both in the United States and overseas. Today I will be informing you about some of the history, traditions, and equipment of Muay Thai. Now, Muay Thai, also commonly known as kickboxing, is considered Thailand's most famous sport, although its history has left much to debate how it actually started. Now, according to TigerMuayThai.com, which is a website for one of the largest Muay Thai camps in Thailand, during the 14th century, Thailand, also known as Siam, was invaded by the Burmese. During that time, much of their written history was destroyed. So some of the dates and actual events are left up to an estimation, and some of them are also believed as legend. So I'll be going over a few key dates first. Now, according again to TigerMuayThai.com, the year 1238 is believed when Muay Thai was first developed. It was used as a military form of close quarter combat. This was due to Siam being constantly invaded by its neighbors. Some of the first training camps were actually military training grounds where soldiers were trained. Now, after their tour of duties were complete, the soldiers will return back to their villages and continue to fight as a sport, also spreading the knowledge throughout the villagers. Not only was it popular with the soldiers and villagers, it was also popular with the royalty, with many kings participating in sports. Now, in 1500, one of the most famous kings, King Narusen, was known to not only fight but teach Muay Thai. As a matter of fact, him and several of his soldiers were responsible for liberating Thailand from the Burmese control. Now, skipping forward a few hundred years to 1788, this is when considered possibly the first introduction of Muay Thai to the Europeans. At the time, two unknown brothers from France came to compete. And the fight did not go well for them. They were completely outclassed, and not only that, they almost started a riot by cheating during the fight. Skipping forward to more modern times, in World War I, this is when it's considered it was actually introduced to the world. During that time, Thai soldiers were stationed throughout Europe. During their downtime, they would also continue to train and fight as sport. They would also teach the fellow European soldiers the art, spreading it amongst other countries. Also during this time, this is when we saw the modernization of the sport. As many of you seen kickboxer, or at least the older crowd, we saw Van Damme training with the hemp gloves and the dirt. During World War I to World War II, this is when boxing gloves were introduced, actual rings, rules, time limits, and other Western boxing elements. Now that we have a brief understanding of the history of Muay Thai, we'll move on to some of the traditions done before a fight. Again, according to Tiger Muay Thai, before any of the fighters can actually engage, they begin a dance called the Wai Kru. Now, this dance is shown as a way of showing respect to the teacher, to the country, and to the sport. And seeing this firsthand, it's also for them a way for the fighters to stretch and limber up before the fight, when many of the movements go into deep stretches. The other dance is the Ram Muay. I think I butchered that word. Now, this is a specific dance from teacher to student. In this dance, the fighter will go to each ring post saying a prayer. It's a way to bless the ring and also sign the respect to his ancestors. His or her ancestors, I'm sorry. These traditions reflect the respect and the culture for the sport. Lastly, we'll be talking about some of the equipment used by the fighters. Like their Western counterparts, Thai fighters use boxing gloves. I've used these firsthand myself. The big difference between those two is that while they look the same and they weigh the same, their padding is a bit different. Thai boxing gloves are used to take huge impacts from kicks, knees, and elbows. Also, shin guards are used during training, but not competition. Muay Thai is a physically demanding sport. Many fighters become injured during training. These shin guards were introduced to help protect the fighters from getting hurt. One of the best examples I could name is when Anderson Silva fought Chris Weidman. In the fight, he tried to shin kick Chris Weidman, and it's a very disturbing sight, but you could see his leg wrap around the other fighter's leg when it broke. And again, like Western boxing, there's also a heavy use of bags. Heavy bags and teardrop bags. Again, like in kickboxer, we saw the old days where they were kicking banana trees. As the sport became more modern, these bags were introduced. Big difference is kickboxers like to use longer bags, about 6 feet. This allows them to deliver kicks from different angles and ranges, also different parts of the body, such as the legs, stomach, and head. Now the teardrop bag is a bit smaller, and as you can imagine, it's shaped like a teardrop. This is used to help develop their knees and elbow strikes. As I informed you about Muay Thai's history, tradition, and equipment, as the sport continues to grow and possibly have in the future in the Olympics. Thank you for your time. Get everybody in. All right, thank you.